Not make a simple decision without having to ask at least three people. If you rehearse every conversation in your head for hours after, if you break every promise you make yourself, and you quietly hate yourself for it, is this you? Is this a problem? Because what you've actually been calling anxiety or perfectionism or people pleasing or being indecisive is actually something that's much deeper. It's a self-trust wound. And once you see it, everything you've been struggling with will make complete sense. And here's the reframe. Self-trust is not a personal trait. It's not something that some people are born with and others haven't. It's a body level knowing. It's built through a very specific kind of experience. It's thousands of small moments from childhood into adulthood in which you noticed something that you feel, that you act on, and then ultimately it has a match. And over time, your brain learns a rule. I can trust my signals, I can trust myself, or I can't. But when you've been living with trauma and PTSD and all those signals are completely different, or you grew up in a home where your feelings were dismissed, where your instincts were called over dramatic, where your vision or your reality was rewritten by the people around you, that breaks the trust process. And the brain learns something completely different. My signals don't match my world. Something is wrong with me. And to stay connected to the people that need you, you start overriding what you know. This isn't a personality flaw. You stop trusting your internal gut instinct. This is just intelligent survival. And here's the neuroscience. It's called predictive coding, and it's one of the most fundamental things that your brain does. And when you're living with trauma and PTSD, it's even worse. And here's the great news. The same mechanism that broke it can rebuild it. Not through affirmations, not through insight, not through podcasts, reading, not through more willpower, through evidence. Small, repeated evidence that you can learn to trust again. And the research on this is massive. Your brain rewires far more reliably around small daily commitments than big heroic gestures. You don't need to have a mass transformation to change this process. Every time you take yourself for a walk, every time you do something on the list, every time you set a boundary, every time you be honest with someone, every time you say what you need to say to be heard, you keep your promise to yourself. Each time that creates a data point which your brain and body can hold on to say, actually, I did this and I did that, and it matches. So there is even specific psychology here. Your vagus nerve, which runs from behind your ear through your throat and into the top of your body, is consistently registering whether you are consistent with yourself, whether you do one thing and say another, whether you say another and do another thing, and your body will register every mismatch. So when you keep that small promise to yourself, your vagal tone improves. Then your sleep deepens, your digestion settles, that tension eases, and the body starts to trust you again. I'm telling you, it's not woo-woo. It's just science. It's neuroscience, and we are able to measure it in real time. This is exactly what the reprogram phase of the trauma recovery method does. We do not tell you to trust yourself. We help you build the actual evidence, one small kept promise at a time, until your nervous system finally exhales and it knows. We rebuild from the ground up. And then you learn to trust yourself again. You have all the internal skills, but your trauma responses, your PTSD, how your body's kept you protected for all this time, has just shifted that. If this is landing for you today and it's something you really need more clarity on, then book our masterclass, book our consultation. I want you to build really deep trust with yourself. Come and have a look inside the trauma recovery method, book a consultation, and come and see exactly how we rebuild your trauma and PTSD to make you amazing again.